When we moved cross country, we thought we had it all figured out. But those first 30 days, it was the little things that we didn't plan for that nearly did us in. Let me explain. Hello again, I am Dan, and my lovely wife Angel is behind the camera, and we are the genX division of the Elevate team at EXP. And today we're talking about when you move to South Carolina, the most beautiful state in the United States, in my opinion. What are the technologies, tips, and tricks that you can use to make your move-in process smooth and easy? One of the first things we ran across when we moved into this house was, and this wasn't the thermostat that was there, the thermostat was blank. It was a Honeywell, and it might as well have been a Honeywell. It's gonna be hot in here because the air conditioning didn't work. Now the good news was it only needed a couple of new batteries. The batteries had died, which the thermostat had batteries. It's weird. So what I did is I brought our Nest thermostat from California. So the Nest thermostat will be in our Amazon storefront if that's something that you'd want to order for your home. Now this is a 3rd generation, they're on to the 4th generation. So if you wanted to get the latest technology, 4th generation would be the newest. The thermostats start at that level are $280. They do have a model that's $130, but you're not getting all the features that you are with the more expensive model. In addition to that, you might have seen a thermostat called ecobee. That's a very popular thermostat as well. Very similar to the Nest. The one thing I like about the ecobee thermostat over the Nest is that if you have the ecobee doorbell, if someone rings the doorbell, you can have the screen pop up of who's at the door on the thermostat. That's a really cool feature. But as we get later into the video, I'll explain to you why I chose Nest as a product for our home. What I love about the Nest thermostat is it learns your habits, like when you like it cooler, when you like it warmer. So once it gets that information, it's just autopilot. Like I never have to touch it unless there's an off day where we just need it cooler in the house or whatever the reason might be. But you'll notice that one of the nice features about the Nest thermostat is it shows the current temperature outside. So we know what it's going to be like before we head out the door. And then the other nice thing is just the ease of use. There's just a ring around the outside that you can turn and you can set the temperature to whatever number you want. In addition to that, Nest has an app. So another feature that I really like about the Nest thermostat is it has an away mode. Like if it notices that there's no activity in the house, it'll conserve energy and set the house at a higher temperature because no one's here. And then as we're driving home from a trip, we can jump onto the app, see that the temperature is higher than what we'd like, and we can lower it so that when we walk through the door, it's climate controlled and everything is perfect. And if you've been dreaming about moving to the Charleston area, you can call us at 843-900-6869, or you can click on the link below and schedule a VIP consult with us live. So in terms of safety, peace of mind, security, come check this out. This is the Nest doorbell. Now you notice that this ring lights up as soon as you walk near it. So that tells the person, hey, that's where I got to press to ring the doorbell. And then it also integrates with the actual chimes inside the house. So outside you'll hear a doorbell through the speaker in the doorbell itself. Inside you'll hear the chimes that are just a regular doorbell's chimes. Now what's really nice about this doorbell is it has infrared, so at night you can get a clear view of who might be at your door late at night. Also, this will do package detection and people detection. So if a person walks up, it identifies it as a person coming to the door. If they leave a package, it says that a package was left. When you retrieve the package from your doorstep, it says package was removed. So at all points in the process, you're getting notified of what's going on outside your door. Especially if you don't have glass on the door and you can't see outside and you're like, well, I don't know if I want to answer it or not. Just check your app on your phone and it'll give you a live stream of what's going on the doorbell. You can also activate the speaker on this and you can talk to the person without ever opening the door. So you can have a conversation with them and you're safe. The door's locked. You got nothing to worry about. Now, if you remember earlier, I was saying that there's Ecobee and there's Nest, and there was a reason why I chose Nest. The reason I chose the Nest doorbell is because with no subscription, it will capture video of people coming to the door and it saves it for up to 3 hours. So if I don't get to an alert until later in the afternoon, it's still there. I can do a screen capture of it on my iPhone and save it indefinitely. Now you can get subscriptions. They run anywhere from $5 to $15 depending on the brand, depending on the company. If you want like 24/7 video surveillance, if you want videos kept for up to 30 days, those are options that you could take advantage of if you want to do that. So if you're going to use this as a security system, it might be worth $50 to $80 a year to have that peace of mind. Now, it's hard to believe that this would be considered technology, but wait until you hear all of the versatile uses it has. When we were moving from California to South Carolina, my wife had this genius idea. When a cabinet was empty and all the stuff was out of it, she put a piece of blue tape on the door so you knew we don't ever have to open that door again because whatever was in it is gone. Or let's say you have a piece of furniture and you know the dimensions of it, and you're trying to figure out like where is it going to go. You can tape a perimeter on the floor to show the shape of that item to say, okay, when we get that piece of furniture in, that's where it's going to live. I've used this recently. I did work on our washing machine and I needed to keep the lid from popping open when I leaned the machine over. So I used blue tape to tape the lid down. Easy. Or if you're moving televisions or any sort of electronics, what are you going to trip over, right? The cords. Well, take a piece of blue tape, tape the cord to the back of the TV, no problem, you're safe. And then the other thing is, if you've noticed, if you've ever visited new construction, when they're having you do your little punch list of all the things that are wrong with the house, like blemishes on the wall, they have you put a piece of blue tape where the spot that needs to be fixed is. And what's great about blue tape is because it's not super sticky, it's not going to pull the finish off. Like this being a flat paint, it might mar the finish, and this will not do that. Now, of course, the invention of blue tape was to mask off the baseboards when you were going to paint a room, right? So it still does that. So you got that going for you. And then the last thing, just off the top of my head, there's thousands of uses for this, but let's say you want to hang a picture and you need to know what height. Like I'm holding it up and Angel says, right there, I could stick a piece of blue tape right at that height. And I know that that's where the picture needs to be hung when I go back to take it down and put the nail in. So lots of cool stuff. And you can get these in, I think, 3 packs or 6 packs. And you're always going to use this. Another thing you can use blue tape for is you can write on the tape and stick it on a box. So let's say I want this to be in the living room, or I want this to be in my kid's bedroom. I can write what's in the box, or I can write where it goes. And that makes the moving process that much easier. Plus, blue tape, I mean, what in your house is going to be this color? You put blue tape on anything, you're going to be able to spot it from a mile away. So you'd be like, why is the blue tape there? I need to do something. The next item that you are desperately going to need when you move into your new house, you're going to need storage, because a lot of the new construction, they don't have a lot of storage. Our old house had cabinets lining both walls and the garage was wider. This is a standard garage width at this house. So we had to get creative. So because these are 9-foot ceilings, I could have these racks installed. These are FlexiMount is the brand. They come in 4x8 sections, and you can see I have 2 of them on either side of the garage. And then of course I've got space for the garage door opener, so it's not in the way at all. Because think about it, when this garage door is up, that's all dead space. You can't use it for anything unless you have this system. These racks can hold between 400 and 600 pounds. And then if you have an unfinished garage, the beauty of it is you can usually see where the joists run. You can see that the joists of the ceiling run this way. So when I was bolting into the ceiling, these little bars here, I was just following these lines. If you have a finished space or a finished garage where it's painted, you can have a thing called a stud finder, and it'll show you where those joists are so that you're screwing into them, or you can hire someone to do it for you, either way. But a great solution. They also make shelving. So if you notice over here, instead of it being ceiling racks, these are shelves. And again, they serve the same purpose. They're getting stuff off the floor and out of your way. Now, one other thing about the FlexiMount system is they have accessories you can buy. In this case, I bought hooks for our bicycles. So the hook is attached to the rack that is attached to the ceiling, and the bike just sits right in the hook. The bikes are out of the way. You're conserving all the space, the precious space in your garage. And if you used to watch the show Home Improvement, you'll know, well, in Home Improvement it was Binford tools, but for us kids growing up, it was Craftsman. So this baby is a Craftsman garage door opener, and it is racing red. And that's the only reason I bought it. It's the same garage door opener as a Chamberlain, but a Chamberlain is blue and it's boring. So Chamberlain makes Craftsman garage door openers, but they slap the name Craftsman on it and they paint it red. And that's why I have it. But why you should have it, whether it's Chamberlain or Craftsman, is because this garage door opener has a battery backup in it. And why you want that is if in South Carolina, if there's a hurricane or a storm, and for some reason you need to get out of the garage in a hurry and your power goes out, this thing will work even in a power outage. So peace of mind, safety, and it just does a great job. Okay, since we're on the topic of garages, let's talk about the garage door opener. Now, this particular car has a system called HomeLink, where there's a button right here that will, depending on the brand of garage door, that will automatically open and close it. So instead of having a separate remote, it's built into the vehicle. The one thing I'll caution you against is you have to have a plan. What if someone breaks into your car and pushes that button, Dan? Are they gonna have access to my house and be able to rob me or steal all the stuff in my garage? Well, they thought of that, and I'm gonna show you next. So this is the button for the inside of the garage. Now, as I mentioned before, what happens if someone pushes the button on the outside? Well, here's the cool part. This little door lifts up. There's a button on there that says lock. I press and hold that button. If that light is flashing, it disables any external remotes. So the one in the car will not work, which keeps everybody safe. So every night when I get ready for bed, I come out here, turn the lock on, and we sleep like babies. Now the other cool thing, now obviously the lights are on and the garage door is open, so you're not going to experience the full glory of this feature, but this part right here on the panel is a motion sensor. So what happens is, if I need to come out to the garage late at night, I'm not fumbling for the wall switches. That motion sensor detects me coming into the garage, and the garage door opener light turns on. So I've got light, I can see where I'm going. If I want to turn on the big light, I can see exactly where the switch is. So whether you buy a Chamberlain or a Craftsman garage door opener, get the model that has the MyQ app. And what the MyQ app does for you is, it's like having a remote control built into your phone. So with the app, I can open the garage door, I can close the garage door, or let's say I left the house, I'm moving into my house and I'm running to Home Depot and I'm like, gosh, I don't remember if I closed the garage door or not. You can pull it up on the app and the app will tell you, is the garage open? Is it closed? How long has it been open? How long has it been closed? And I also get alerts. So let's say that I'm out of town and I'm like, did my kid get home from work okay? I'll get an alert when that garage door opens and I know that they're home, they're safe. So again, it's peace of mind, convenience, and you're just gonna be happier having this in your home. And I don't wanna overwhelm you guys with all these items, but if you wait till the end, you can click on the link for our Amazon storefront. You can just see all the items and you can kind of just take them in one at a time. But let me show you the next one, which are crazy enough called corn cob lights. Who would have thought of that? So in this garage, it does not have the fluorescent bar lights that you'd see in a lot of garages. In this case, it just had sockets for a regular bulb. Well, the problem with that was a regular bulb, the light kind of dissipates as you get further away. So the corners of the garage are kind of more dimly lit than the very spot directly underneath. So this is called a corn cob light, and aptly so, because if you look at the sides of it, it looks like a corn on the cob, and the lights are the kernels, right? But what this does is it shoots the light across the entire space. So the main part of the garage is bright, the corners are bright, you can see everything. It's just a better way to navigate your garage. Okay, I want you to see something. You see how this door is open? Watch this. What sort of witchcraft is that? Well, it's not witchcraft, it's technology. And what it is it is spring-loaded hinges. So each one of these hinges has a spring in it. Now, once you get these installed, there's a little tool that you will use to increase the tension of the spring, because not all doors are the same height, weight, what have you. So by setting the tension, you know that it's not going to close too hard. It's not going to close too soft. It's going to be just right. Now, the other thing we did is we put a lever handle on this door as opposed to a doorknob. Because if I'm coming in with groceries, or if I'm moving items, if I'm moving into my house and I need to get in and out of the garage, I want to be able to use my elbow or my arm to get that door open, and I can just push it open and it closes by itself. I don't have to keep coming back and closing the door over and over again. So relatively inexpensive. It's definitely DIY, and it'll make your life so much easier. And if you go to our Amazon storefront, you can find these beautiful items for sale there. Now, this isn't really a technology tip, but this is just a tip in general. We had a dryer, and it was a gas dryer, and we moved it 3,000 miles across the United States, only to find out that our new home that we just purchased was only electric. So don't be dragging useless stuff across the country that you can't use, only to sell it at a hugely discounted price in order to buy something else to put in its place. But with that being said, I hope that this list of things is going to help you. Go on to the Amazon storefront if you're interested in any or all of these items. And if you need help buying or selling a home, please reach out to the genX division of the Elevate team at eXp. Our phone number is 843-900-6869, or you can tap the link below and schedule a VIP call. We'll see you later.